just in case you could not tell from the thumbnail picture, I really, really, really love this book. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. Just, how can I describe it? It's like when you bottle sunshine, it's like someone bottled sunshine, like literal early morning sunshine when like the sun is breaking through the trees and everywhere is just becoming so radiant and soft and beautiful and very dewy, and then there's a blank page, like a blank collection of pages, and someone just pours that sunshine and it becomes a book. And that book is Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert, because this book, I'm highly suspicious of the fact that this is Talia Hibbert's first YA novel because she did that, but also this book is incredibly unfairly cute. My heart. Now, here I am. I'm hoping that I would actually be able to make this review pretty quick because, like, I want to just get to the heart of it. But if you just want the short version of this review, this book is fantastic. This book is funny. This book is hilarious. This book is cute. This book is romantic. This book just makes me feel things. It gives me all the feelings. This book made me believe in love, especially like teenage love. I'm like, oh, you kids, I sincerely hope you make it in the future because you are just so adorable. And like, yes, short version of this review. If you've not yet read this book, read it. Read it. 5/5, 100% recommend. That's the short version. But now let's go to the longer review. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute is Talia Hibbert's debut YA novel. I say debut because if it is that you spent any amount of time on my channel, and I'm certain you can catch a glimpse of the spine somewhere on top, you'll probably notice or be aware of the fact that Talia Hibbert is one of my favorite romance writers, and the Brown sisters will forever hold a special place in my heart. So yes, although she does and is quite famous for writing adult romances, like really spicy, smexy, adorable, funny, witty, like just fantastic adult romance novels. This is her first foray into YA, and I would say that she hit it out of the park. Now, before I get into my thoughts about her writing this book and how it made me feel, a quick synopsis. This book is about Bradley and Celine. They used to be very good friends, like best of friends, when they were kids, until about age 13, 14, they had a falling out because Brad wanted to try out, like, you know, in the football team, and what it seemed was like he was basically becoming friends with the popular kids. And Celine, I love her. She's a conspiracy theorist. She believes in aliens. She has a TikTok where she just talks about all her conspiracy theories, and she's just fantastic. But she's also not the type of person that the cool crowd necessarily gets along with, and she felt like she was losing her friend, like that Bradley was letting go of his individuality in order to fit in. Bradley felt like, oh, if she had just applied a little bit of effort, then she could have gotten along with like his new friend, because he wanted to have both. Because like, trust me, Bradley is aware, just as we are, of just how incredibly rare and wonderful and amazing Celine is. Celine Bangura is the friend you want in your corner, and it absolutely devastates him when they stop being friends and, you know, are separated. And so they go from being this best of friends to these people who seemingly cannot stand each other, and then because of certain events that led to Bradley having to follow Celine on this nature type short mini course thing that she has to go for, because she wants this opportunity to intern with this lawyer, this hotshot lawyer that she looks up to, that she practically worships the ground the woman works on. Because of certain situations, Bradley has to go with her and help her, and it is whilst they are in the woods that they bond, and then they rekindle their friendship, and it could be something more, and something more is what we got. Because that synopsis, if you thought that was a lot, that's just like a smidgen, a sprinkle, a speck, a tiny bit, a flu, a fluffla, a twirl, like I'm trying to use words that can like convey brevity, like it's in the wider breadth and scale that is this book. Like it's a in the book that is a la 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 la. If that does not make any sense, I'm sorry. This book is making me feel things. I'm 16, 17 again, having a crush on people because, like, oh my God, having a crush, trying to deal with school, trying to deal with A-levels. And yes, for those that are like for the Americans or the people that do not like have any understanding or knowledge of the British school system, yeah, this book centers these two kids about to take their A levels, thinking about going into university, and like it hit for me because I did take A levels, right? I did the AS exams, and then I did the A level exams to get into university as well. And it's just like I was 16 again. I was reading this book and I was 16, 17 again. You're dealing with school, you're dealing with exams, you're going to classes, you're like, oh my God, would this show up in my literature, in my A-level exams, and you're having that conversation about what is next, like, right? Because like, just like Bradley, right? Bradley in this book has to make a decision with regards what he's going to study in university, and if he's going to follow what it is that his family wants, or if he's going to follow something that he wants. And that is just resonates because that was also my experience. That was also me. Like everybody was like, oh my God, you talk a lot, you're very argumentative, you make logical sound arguments, and and basically have people think of things in very different ways. You should be a lawyer. And for the longest time I wanted to be a lawyer because that was what everybody else was pushing me, but I didn't want to be a lawyer. And it was when I was doing A levels I was like, do you know what? Nah, I didn't want to be a lawyer. I'm going to study communications, right? And like, just I repeat all of these things, this period of time of life where you're maturing and growing and trying to figure out who you are and what you want to be. And oh my God, you also have a crush on somebody that you just like, they are dreamy and they make you like, you lose your breath, but at the same time you're so irritated and you also argue with them, but also they have these dimples and they smell so good and they look so good, and you just want to hold hands and you just want to kiss and you want to hold them, and you're just like, oh my God, I love you, but also, oh my God, I have exams, and oh my God, what am I going to do, and oh my God, I need to go to university. Like all of that anxiety, that energy, all of that, like she fed it directly into this book. I was dropped straight back into my childhood. I was dropped straight back into my teenage years. And I'm telling you, that is not something a lot of writers successfully do, right? Because I read a lot of YA, I read a lot of adults, I read a lot of everything actually. And like a lot of YA writers sometimes write, and you're like, they're writing this and they claim these characters are teenagers, but they do not act like teenagers and do not talk like teenagers. The kids in this book, all of them, Bradley, Celine, Jordan, Michaela, Aurora, every single one of them, Raj, every single one of them, right? They act like the teenagers they are. They talk like them. Their concerns are teenager concerns. What they are trying to accomplish is teenagers' concerns. The way in which their love is depicted is teenager concerns. Like this is a PG book, right? So like just a couple of kisses and all of that, but like the emotions resonate so well in a way that it catches my breath and it makes me love. It makes me love. Like I can just imagine, like even with and I'm telling you, whoever picked this cover, it's pink, it's soft pink. It makes me think of Aphrodite. Like it's soft and sweet and romantic and just beautiful. And the story is beautiful and their love is beautiful and these characters are beautiful. But these characters are also dealing with a lot of things. And that is another thing that I think that Talia Ebert is able to depict and write so well with the story, because this story does have representation of a character who is dealing with OCD, and like I just think that she writes it so thoughtfully. Like, do I have a bit of OCD? Yes, a little bit, It's not as it's not the way in which Bradley's OCD is reflected in this book, but I could see some similarities. And like there were things that she was writing in her notes, like in the foreword and in notes before we get into the story, that you could tell that she did research. You could tell that she wanted to do a lot of, like, she wanted to show a lot of care in how she depicted Brad, and she did it so well, like personally. But I would love to get further like comments, like if it is that you've read this book and you have OCD, or somebody in your life that has OCD, what do you think about the way in which is depicted in this book? Because for me it worked well, but I have spoken to some people and they're like, oh, your OCD is not that bad, you're not really OCD. And that thing always gets to me when people are like, yeah, no, the way in which you have found a way to manage all these invisible disabilities that you have, it's not that extreme because you mask so well. And so they feel like, oh yeah, you're just I am bringing too much of myself into this book, but I also think that it is because of the fact that I repeat, Talia Ebert wrote these characters like they are real teenagers. Even Celine's relationship, the estrangement she has with her father, which is the reason why she's so desperate for the scholarship, and you will find out more about it as you read more into the book, is something that relates, like it's very close to my relationship with my father. And I can just imagine 17-year-old Noria, if she had read this book, if this book had existed when I was 17, one, I would have made way better choices in the partners I chose, because there's something about reading a good romance novel with characters that love each other and adore each other, and you're just like, everybody's deserving of a love this beautiful. Everybody's deserving of a love this sincere. Everybody's deserving of a love this kind. Everybody's deserving of a love this amazing. And you want that for yourself. You want that for everybody else. And I think that that is the great thing about like teenagers reading books like this, because you're just like, yes, please have very high standards. Look forward to having a Bradley Graham in your life, because you deserve to have a Bradley Graham. You look forward to having a Celine in your life, because yes, you deserve to have a Celine. Look forward to having a Michaela. Like I'm telling you, like this book, so good, so good. And yes, even though this is a romance novel, right? A lot of the characters, it's not just like romance between two people who are attracted to each other. Because also, speaking of representation, Bradley Graham is bi, like a bi male, love interest and also second protagonist. Chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Like, thank you. Ah, the representation. Thank you. But yes, sorry, I got distracted. But what I was saying is that this book is beyond just like romantic love depiction. It also depicts like the love between siblings, the love within the family, the love of friends, like whether it's new friends or old friends. Like this book is just a love letter to love in the most beautiful, softest, amazing, sweet, just delicious, and just it's soft cotton candy and bubble gum, and just it just wraps me in that cocoon of everything would be okay. That's the reason why I like to read romance novels. And when you get the right YA romance novel that just hits you and you feel like, yeah, everything will be okay, because Brad and Celine are happy and they're going to be okay. And it's just, I just love that. I feel that that is a blessing. I feel that that is a gift. It shows the many loves that are present, that we experience, how they evolve, how they grow. And like I mentioned, right, they're like, there's love, and then there's also serious conversations about, following your dreams, choosing your own path, choosing what it is that you want to do, healing from a trauma from a father, from an absent parent, and what it means when a father leaves, and putting together those pieces and even learning to heal. And I just love that Talia Hibbert is clearly a big supporter of therapy, because like, and I just, as someone that has started therapy this year and is in therapy, although I've not been back in therapy for a while because, oh my god, financials, the world. I need to work to make money, but also I need my mental health to be stable to be able to work, but also I need money to pay to get my mental health stable, which means I need to work even when, like, we are all going through it in this world. We are all going through it. But yes, like, this book is incredible. Talia Ebert's writing is clear, is simple, is accessible, and it is just beautiful. It is romantic, it is soft. There are certain there are certain things she describes that just makes me swoon, and then makes me realize that, yeah, I did receive love letters, right? I didn't have my letters say exactly the words that Talia Hibbert had in this, but I had love letters on colorful stationaries that smelled so nice and had little hearts, and you know, from from someone that was just like so earnest, and like that is what I could see in this book. These characters are so earnest about how much they love each other, and it just makes me so happy. It's swoon worthy. It's beautiful. So like I said, the language is clear, the story is engaging, like it is well paced. It's segmented in like months and seasons, so you see like everything is not rushed, everything just develops naturally. The progression of Celine and Bradley's relationship, when we go back to the past to figure out, like, when they're having these conversations and we figure out what happened, and you're rooting for them and you make it all the way to the end, like, it's just great. And of course, this book is crackling crackling with wit. Like the wit, the humor, it is witty. It is so, like, it's so sharp. The dialogue is so sharp, but that's also because Celine Bangura is such a witty protagonist, and she's so fucking brilliant, and I love her. And of course, you can tell from the book, from the cover, that she's plus size. Like the representations we get in this book. Bradley wears glasses. Like I'm just like, Bradley, I love you. I would have said you're me, but you're way taller than me. I love you, right? Like, it is just so great. It is funny. It is witty. It is sweet. It is romantic. The humor in this, like, like, there's some lines Talia Ibn writes, and I'm just like, I remember this. Like, this is what you expect. This is what you hope to get from a Talia Hibbert novel, and she brings her signature to this YA novel, and it is perfect. They're like full-on jokes that are established. Only there are little things like this. The only downside to this outfit is the lack of pockets, but I've shoved my phone and some cash down my cleavage. Hopefully I won't forget it's there and worry that I'm having a heart attack when it vibrates like I did last time. Like, you'll just be minding your business, reading a paragraph, and poof, she's giving you some comedy and you're cackling your fucking head off like a fucking witch. Like, of course, which I am, of course. It is funny. It is great. It is fantastic. I love this book. I love this book so fucking much. It is. Is there any bad things about this book? No. I'm going to give it all 5 stars. I'm going to legitimately give it all 5 stars. Like, I wish I could say that there was a flaw, so I could be like, I'm going to give a non-biased reviews. But clearly you can tell that I love this, and you all come to my channel because when I love shit, I geek out full time about this shit, and I'm geeking out about this, and I'm recommending that you pick up this book if you can, because it is great. And it is fantastic, and I'm going to reread it over and over and over again. I repeat, like, it just keeps going, highs and funny and funny and funny, and of course there's a brief period where there's a roll. If you read the book, you understand what I mean by the roll, but like, yeah, it's just fantastic. I think the only downside, if there is any, and this is me reaching, is like, if it is that you have no context about, A levels and British schooling system, you might be kind of confused a bit about what is going on in the book. I don't know though. I thought it was pretty clear, but at the same time, I also did A levels, and also Nigeria was colonized by Britain, so we have a lot of similar systems with regards to our education system. So I was just like, I got it, but please let me know if you're non-British, if you're non-British, if you're not living in the UK, and let me know if you understood like everything about the A levels and the schooling system and everything depicted in this book. Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. But yes, that is my review of Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. 5 over 5 would highly recommend. I love this book. A huge thank you to Kat on my Patreon, who requested that I do a book review for this. For those that do not know, I do have a Patreon, so if you like to support my channel, even for as little as $1 a month, like, you can come support me. We have a Discord, we have weekly reading sprints, because we have monthly Patreon body reads, and we also have a monthly movie night. So every month we watch a movie, we read books every week, we meet, we discuss, we have like monthly vibe and chill sessions where we just hang out and just unwind after, like, at the end of the month, just to catch up. And depending on certain tiers you go, there are like, more benefits and stuff, and just like, yeah, so this was one of the higher benefits, and Kat requested this. I'm really excited about this, and this book makes me very excited for another book I picked in my December TBR. If you have not seen that video, you should go check it out. But in my December TBR, I did pick Onion and Spice by Bolu Babalola, and that book I look forward to reading. A part of me is actually hoping somebody actually does request it on Patreon for me to do a book review. But yes, that would be it. Apologies for the loud noise. Like, my neighbors have been my neighbors, and they're doing stuff. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing stuff. But yes, that would be it. Let me know if you've read Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. If you did, let me know how many stars you gave it, because this is a 5 out of 5 for me. And I will see you in my next video, which would be a wrap-up of all the books I read in November. Until then, stay passionate, like I always say, stay nerdy. And remember, on Chronicles of Noria, we are all nerds and we love it, and that is something to be proud of. See you in a bit. Bye!